Hi, Shannon Thigpen with Shine Yoga. I want to share a stretch I absolutely love. It helped me so much when I didn't have much flexibility at all. I mean, at all. And I was in my late 30s, early 40s when I started gaining flexibility because I was practicing yoga and practicing stretching. This was one of the stretches that I did until this day. I love, 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 and share with everybody. All you need is a wall and carpeting or your yoga mat. Your wall needs to be clear from any obstruction. You simply come close to the wall, get as close as you can to the wall, then you're going to lie down and swing your legs up against the wall. The reason I like this stretch, one of the reasons I like this stretch is because your spine is now lengthened. You will not compromise the integrity of a lengthened spine. Now, ideally, you're not looking over your head like that. You'll be looking straight up, so there's no compromising the cervical spine as well, right? And then you straighten your feet on the wall best you can. Glutes up close to the wall, but you're not allowing your glutes to come off the wall. So your butt is down. If that means your knees are bent, then they're bent. This is a way to train these muscles to start to extend and become more flexible. You might find that one leg you can straighten more than the other. That's how it worked with me always, right? It still does to some degree. But once you're able to get your legs straighter, if you do it every day, you will gain flexibility, I promise. If you're able to point the toes, that is a little bit easier than when you flex the feet, but do what you can and hang out in that pose for a few breaths. So if you're watching television, just inhale, exhale through some of the tightness. Think about where you feel tight. Of course, if you have this level of flexibility, you're not going to feel this one. And I do say this one because there's another one that we're going to do while we're here. You won't feel the effects of this one so much, but most of you will because your hamstrings are so tight. You know why? Because we do so much sitting. So when we're sitting, our knees are bent and the hamstring muscles are shortened. But here we're lengthening the hamstring muscles, right? So even though we sit, we're bent at the hip. This isn't doing anything to help the flexibility of the hips, but it is helping the flexibility of the hamstrings. And that's so important. All right, so maybe if you're really flexible, if you wanted to get the stretch there, you don't really need to, but you could, bring the legs closer. But you would want to be able to keep your glutes down, straighten your legs completely. Then here's the stretch for the inner thigh. You extend the legs long. Again, your knees might be bent a little bit, but you hang out here. And if I hung out here long, I haven't done this in a while, but it's so good. It would probably help my straddle and my splits if I did it more. I can't do a straddle or a split, but if I worked at it enough and did this would be one of the things to help me to get there for sure. So what happens is, as you stay in this position, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, the gravity will start to weigh on the legs and your legs will start to go further and further apart till you couldn't stand it. If you did it long enough, you wouldn't be able to stand it. So we're not going to go that long. Probably 3 or 4 minutes is maybe the max. And you don't have to do it that long to start to gain flexibility, but a couple of minutes. Hold it for a couple of minutes and that will help you. And you will feel the stretch inner thigh. Don't worry if your legs don't go very far apart. It's okay. Whatever you can do. They may be up here. And you might find that one leg you're able to get much closer to the ground. One of the things that I used to do is do a marker. So put a little light pencil marker where my legs are. I should do it now. I won't do it on this wall, but I should do it, right? So I can, because I'm going to work on this. One Why don't we work on that? I am going to work on this one because I haven't done it in a while, and it's so good. Okay, so let me move on. Bring your legs back together. Take your ankle, place it above the knee as long as the knee that you're bending is okay. If it doesn't like that, maybe you'll be crossed closer to the ankle near the shin. Or if it doesn't like that, just don't do it. You know, you don't have to do it at all. But if you can, cross above the knee. And if you need, perhaps you can take this knee, take your hand, place it inside to open up the hip flexor. Man, nice stretch there. And then if you want more, you bend the knee, hip, knee, ankle, and you'll get a deeper stretch. At the same time, I'm pressing my hand on the inside of this knee, and so I'm getting a stretch. I'm getting more stretch here. It just depends on where your tightness is. You might feel it more on the opposite hip, but probably on this side you'll feel it more. And you may not need to bend that knee. That leg may be perfectly fine close to the wall. The reason, and then we'll do the other side, the reason this is such a nice stretch in addition to your spine being lengthened when your legs are against the wall right here, you don't have the responsibility of keeping them up using your core, and it can be, if your legs are really tight, they feel like lead, so the wall can help to take that responsibility off of you keeping the legs raised while gaining the benefits of increasing your flexibility. So here we're doing the other side, same thing. Cross at the ankle or above the knee and hang out there, maybe hand inside, right? Maybe bend a little or a little more or a little more, a little more, just till you feel your stretch. You want to feel slight pulling, remember, you want to feel slight tension. You do not want to feel what? Right, you don't want to feel pain, right? If you feel pain, you're doing too much. All right? Those are great stretches. So here you go. Hold that for a few breaths. Hold that one for a few breaths. Inner thigh and hamstrings working. Hamstrings, you can do these. Core working when you're doing those. Good, just pull away from the wall just a little bit. I mean, even though you have the wall there, yeah, you got to pull away a little bit, but you'll feel your core working there. And stretching the gluteus and the piriformis, the hip here, and some hamstring, inner and outer thigh there. Do the other side. Yay, yay, yay. Helping you to increase flexibility. Of course, the benefits of having more flexible hamstrings and inner thighs, glutes, it will help to relieve the low back. It'll help improve your posture, okay? And anytime you can take pressure off of your low back is a good thing. It will help your hips to have more mobility, so that increases your gait. So then you're able to walk and run and do the things that you want to do more efficiently and effectively. And you will then also create greater muscular balance. Because with these muscular balances is what causes us to be more susceptible to injury. All right, let me stop talking to you upside down. All right, so try those and let me know how it works for you. I'm Shannon Thigpen. Just start where you are. Do what you can. You have greatness inside of you, and I believe in you. Namaste.